It's the rock and roll and coffee show. Yeah, with Joe.
Hi, Joe.
Hey, Rob, how are you, buddy?
I am great, thanks. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining me this evening.
Oh, my pleasure. I thought maybe we do a cooking show.
A cooking show? You explain the cooking.
Well, I was just figuring out what I was going to make for dinner, and I was just putting stuff out. And I thought, oh, wouldn't this be fun? We'll do a cooking show.
We could. You're welcome to make your dinner and explain what's going on while we chat.
It's boring.
Oh man, how's the last year been treating you?
Well, the last year has been pretty slow, Joe. I don't know about you, but I got 50 acres of farm here. Every blade's been polished. Every blade of grass.
Where are you at now? In Jersey?
I have a farm, a horse farm in the Hudson Valley area.
Okay.
Up by New Paltz.
Okay.
And also have an apartment on the Upper East Side.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. So doing a little farming.
You're in Jersey?
No, I'm in South Carolina, the Myrtle Beach area.
No, that's right. You asked me if I was in Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay. I gotta get this interview thing right. I forgot. I forgot how this is done.
No worries. Hey, listen, I know we're on a little bit of a time crunch right now, so
yeah,
we'll just get right into it. How's that?
Shoot, man! I thought you were recording already.
I am.
Okay.
All right. Well, on this show, I like to go through your journey and your career, kind of from start to the end. So you've got a huge career. You've done a lot of things. So we're going to crunch this down. But, where did you first start playing drums? When did you find your love for music?
Well, I literally, I was just showing someone. I don't know if you've seen that. I don't know if you follow me on Facebook. I think, did you come through Facebook, or you may have came through my website? I don't remember, but yeah, no, I actually I started about 3 years old playing drums on the floor in my parents' house, and I've got some photos of that, which is actually pretty funny that they have been posted up on official Rob Affuso at my Instagram site, and also it's Facebook. But
yeah.
So that's really when I started, Joe. And then I loved drums, and I started playing my mom would set up a drum pad in the living room, and I'd play to the TV, whoever was on, and then I went into school, into the school band, and through that I did actually some marching bands, and then I decided if I played rock and roll music, girls would like me.
Yeah,
and
that's always a plus with rock and roll music, right?
Well, yeah, well, whatever. and then I played in all the school orchestras and jazz band, and then I started playing in rock bands when I was 12, and start playing out in clubs. My mom would come with me to escort me to the because it's 18 and over, and I was 12.
Yeah.
So I would do that, and then go to school the next day.
Yeah. Was there music in your family? I mean, you got started really young. Was that always around?
Actually, there is none.
Really?
No, none.
Well,
my brother plays drums now, but I mean, wasn't in the blood anywhere.
Yeah. Okay. So then you went through, your band to band to band until you auditioned for Bon Jovi. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And how did that come about? Did you know the guys already?
So it's kind of a long and convoluted story, Joe. So I'll try to streamline it best I can. So I had a girlfriend who became my fiance and wife for a short time. In New Jersey, and her best friend was April, who was with David Bryan for many, many years, and there was that connection, which was the strongest connection. But then there was also I knew a girl who I used to. This is so random. I used to work as a camp counselor, events coordinator for Jellystone Park, and Yogi Bear.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
yeah, and I was fortunate enough to dress up in the big old Yogi Bear suit in the middle of August. It was a great job.
That was fun.
But I did get to meet a lot of interesting people. And I met this girl at the campground. Her parents used to come there all the time. Well, she happened to be childhood friends with Sabo. And so there was this kind of weird synchronicity. She said, "Oh, well, I'll tell Snake, put your word in, whatever." And so as it goes, I got the audition, random audition from Bon Jovi through David Bryan and my future ex-wife. I don't really. That sounds funny, but that's what she was.
That's what happened. Yeah, I get it.
So I get this audition, and I actually literally have been waiting for the audition for months and months. I get this audition. I'm at the beach on the Jersey Shore. I get this call, and like, okay, can you be at the studio in 2.5 hours? And that was, the studio was an hour away, so I had to get home. I had to pack up my drums. I had like a 12-piece drum set, and I had a Toyota Corolla.
Nice.
So I got home, and I just took the essentials. I got to the audition, and I this was during, right after they had released Runaway.
Okay.
Because they released that on the WAPP radio. It was a band contest, and Bon Jovi had won that, and so they were starting to get big. So this was really before they had blown up, of course. So I get the audition, and I go there, and Snake was there, just because he's good friends with John, and they had grown up together. So I did the audition, and then Snake came up to me and said, "Hey, I don't know what's going on here. If things, good luck to you here, but if not, we're doing something. Me and my buddy Rachel, we're putting a band together. Would love to have you come join us." So obviously that didn't work out with Bon Jovi, and connected with Snake. And the poor guy, they had me audition on somebody's drum set in a basement, and I hit the drum so hard I destroyed the drums.
Well,
they all
you're a
looked
drummer,
at each
right?
other, and they's like, "How are we supposed to tell whatever his name is that we did? We auditioned the drummer on his drums."
Clearly, he didn't know he was going to be out of the band.
Right. Well, so and that was it. And so then I got the audition, and so that's how I got the audition to Skid Row. So, and then we got Scotty, and then we got Matt. Well, Matt was already in the band. Matt Fallon, he was the original singer, and then he did stupid. He stupided himself out of the band.
I was going to ask what happened with him, why that didn't work out.
And so then we looked for a singer forever, and Mark Weiss happened to be close with Sebastian, and he said, "Well, I know this guy in Toronto." We flew him down, and that was it. Damn, it was magic. So
soon as Sebastian came in, did you guys know right away? Yeah, this is the guy.
Oh yeah, it was amazing.
Amazing. I mean, he's probably one of the top frontmen of all time, I would say.
He's pretty good.
Yeah,
he's pretty good.
Yeah,
hard to live with, but a great singer.
That's not the first time I've heard that, unfortunately, but. All right, so
it is what it is.
Yeah. So once you got Sebastian in the band, how quickly did you guys get your deal?
Well, it was already kind of out there, but it just became a huge deal. It was a bidding war between Atlantic and Geffen. I mean, those things don't happen anymore. It's a different time, but
yeah,
Atlantic Records and Geffen Records, and our record deal at the time was the largest in Atlantic Records history, which I'm sure has been exponentially out numbers by now. But
this was what, 88?
Sorry?
This was what, 88, 89?
Well, the album came out in 89, so I would imagine that would be probably 88, because there's a lot. We did a lot of writing, a lot of playing out in clubs, just you sort of have to hone it all. And then we went in, did the album, and the album was actually recorded in it, album was actually recorded, I believe, in 1988. Was released in '89.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as it was released, we were out on the Slippery When Wet tour with Bon Jovi. So it was a really great fast track road for us.
Yeah, and the first single, "Youth Gone Wild," blew up fairly quickly, as I recall.
Well, if you remember that thing called Music Television, MTV, that actually played music.
Remember that?
Yeah. Well, they were instrumental, of course. They jumped on right away. And we definitely had the look for TV. Fortunately, we weren't all radio faces,
right?
And and we that did well for us, and it really catapulted us. And the songs were great.
Yeah.
If I do say so.
Well, I agree. I have to agree with you. I remember going to the mall. You remember those things?
Yeah, I do.
I went to the mall.
I've tried to stay away from them for the past year and a half.
But... Yeah. But to pick up your debut record on the day it came out, and the guy was just putting the cassette tapes out, and that's where I got mine.
Oh, was it in January?
I don't remember what month it was. All I remember about that day was him pulling them out of the boxes, and I grabbed one as he was pulling them out, and it was raining. For some reason, I remember it was raining that day. It's crazy what your mind remembers.
And then you went out and put the cassette in, and I hope it was Love Ever After.
It was definitely. So everybody knows, at least most people listening to this, I'm sure they know the history of Skid Row, what happened after that, and all that kind of stuff. So you recorded your second album, Slave to the Grind, and that was around what, the early 90s, right?
Yes, that came out in 1992.
Okay. So that came out as the tides were starting to switch, but it was still a huge hit.
Oh, it was first number one heavy metal album in history.
Yeah, it wasn't really. I did not know that.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Well, if we were doing video, I'd show you the Billboard plaque that I have on my wall right here.
Well, maybe next time if we get together again, we'll do video when we have more time.
Well, I'll send you the picture.
Okay, it sounds good. So I remember seeing you guys out with Pantera on that tour. And
that was when we started to headline, right?
Right. And that was a little heavier edge than the first one. So was that more of what you guys wanted compared to your first release?
Well, I think it was mixed. Certainly Slave to the Grind was a heavier album. It was more aggressive, and some of the guys in the band wanted to go that direction. Some others didn't really have a big. I don't think some of us had a really strong opinion. We just loved the music, and it was also, we didn't really want to be a pinup band, and that's where you die quick. And the magazines and stuff were pushing us that way, and we were fighting against that. And so by really going deep in and doing a real heavy album, I think we sort of cemented ourselves as a serious band, and not just poster band.
Right. So you toured on that for a while. It was a successful tour.
That was a phenomenal tour. I mean, I don't know if you ever saw the videos and the stuff with the videos with the Pantera. Oh man, they're amazing times.
Which videos? Which ones?
Well, there's first of all the Skid Row. I mean was the No Thrills video, I believe.
I have
No
not
Thrills
seen
video that had that softball game with Pantera, and then Pantera went and put our softball excursions on their home video. So
nice.
There was a lot of that. There was a lot of that on our home videos. It was really great time.
I love the "Oh Say Can You Scream" video. I still have that, by the way, on VHS.
Yeah, I've got it on VHS too. I don't know why these other people don't put this out on a DVD or on a digital format. I don't get it.
Yeah. You would think so. I mean, that would be.
One would think so. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. part of me senses that the guys that are still carrying the name just sort of want to pretend that didn't happen and focus on the current lineup, which is what it is. So
yeah. What are your thoughts on the current lineup?
I don't really know. I
don't really pay attention
I
too much.
I don't really. I've taken myself out of it, Joe. I've got a great life. I've got a great business in Soulsystem Orchestra. As I was with 4x Fate doing tours with them, and not that was a huge success, but it was fun. And I can't live looking backwards. Doesn't work.
That's a good attitude to have.
It's unhealthy, and I don't really pay attention to what they're doing. And I wish them the best. And it is what it is. And there's the end on that, right?
Yeah, right. I got you. So fast forward, you did a Subhuman Race, which did not, fare as well.
Well, right. It didn't. I mean, I love that album. That was my favorite album to play.
I thought it was a great album too, but unfortunately that was right smack dab when everything switched around.
Yeah. But we also, I think that was a tough time, and it's too bad that we didn't get another chance to do another album together, because I think, the band was in really high form. We were like a machine, and I wish we had a chance to do a little bit more together. But we tried to remain true to ourselves while also kind of keeping a toe in the sound and the production wise. And I mean, I think the album was great. Obviously it didn't do. A lot of people don't think it was that great, or I think a lot of it was we also didn't have a lot of the support from the record company at that time. We were with Atlantic. A lot of the team had moved over to Universal, and our support really waned on that. And we needed that support in that time, because Nirvana had really taken the legs out of our genre, and and that genre of music did, and there was a bit of a backlash. But I think the album was good. We also we were still doing sold out shows, although there were smaller venues, but they were still sold out. Well, I wish we had an opportunity to do another album. I would have loved to have seen what would have come from that.
Right. When was the end of Skid Row? Was that 98?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Basically, yeah.
That's when you were done with the band, right?
Yep. Yeah, we had our little falling out, and that was I didn't like the fact that everything was done by a vote, and of course there was 4 of us, and 3 of them decided they wanted to move forward without him, and I said that's a really dumb idea. And then we went and got other singers. We changed the name, we changed the style. It was just, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a mess, and so that's really when I had gotten very involved in Soulsystem and putting that band, that company together. And it was really just, one, it was just for the love of the music, but 2, it was also, I saw it as a business moving forward. And I thought, I didn't realize I was going to have to make that my business.
Right.
And it's not that I had to, but, I didn't, it's kind of an awkward thing. I lived in New York. A lot of the rock scene was in LA. I didn't really want to live in LA. I was close to my family and friends in New York. And so I just didn't feel right putting myself into LA, into the LA hard rock scene. It just wasn't me. And so I think, being in New York, it's a slow rock scene, and there wasn't a lot of opportunities to jump into a band other than one that was, starting out, and you have to get in a van again. And I was just decided I didn't want to do that again.
Sure.
So I put my energy into Soulsystem, and that's, it's a wonderful band, wonderful company, and I get to travel around the world on weekends, and it's nice. I go out, I do shows, and I come home. So it's which is how a lot of bands are touring these days, anyway.
Right. Now, so Soul System was like, that's not rock, right? It's like an R&B and
No, well, Soul System, the name it implies R&B, because that's when I put it together. That's really what I wanted to do. I wanted to, kind of a Motown soul funk review type of thing, and
okay.
that's where that came from. But now, it's everything. Do large scale corporate and private events around the world. We literally just came back from Antigua a week ago, as I told you. That's why I said let's do it after when I get back. So
yeah.
So flying out, getting paid, lying on a beach for 3 days, playing for 4 hours, and coming home. That's still okay by me, John.
Yeah, that doesn't suck. So now that's a big group, correct? Is it? You have a lot of members? Big production?
It's now Soulsystem Orchestra is a company. So
Okay.
Soulsystem is the name of the band, and so basically we go up to like 24 pieces. That would be inclusive of a horn section, multiple lead singers, percussionists, strings.
Wow.
It becomes just a whole circus.
Right.
Generally it performs at about 12 pieces.
Okay. So you had Soul System going, and then somewhere in there you started playing with 4 by Fate.
Yeah, that was the last thing, really. I mean, Soul System is ongoing, but 4 by Fate was the last thing that I did in the rock scene. That was like 2017. It was 2016, 17, 18, 19, I think, is what we did. And that was just a group of guys. Todd Howarth and John Reagan, John was with Peter Frampton forever, and Todd was in and out of a bunch of different bands, Cheap Trick, and he was a sideman for Cheap Trick, and guitar player for Nugent. But those guys were the original members of Frehley's Comet, and so it was those two guys, myself, and a guy, Pat Gasparini, who was in the band Pound in the 90s. They had a hit song in the 90s. So it was an interesting group of guys, and I like the album. I got called up by them. They were recording their album, and AJ Pero from Twisted Sister was the drummer, and unfortunately that's when he passed away during the recording of that album. So they asked me to come and finish the album. So it was an honor and a privilege, and we started doing shows together, and it worked out real nicely, and then it just stopped. So I don't know, maybe we'll do something again. I don't know, but
okay.
There's some really great songs in there. It's great. It's a great band.
Yeah. Now, what were you're teaching lessons also, correct?
I do, yeah. I did that during COVID. I'm just doing a couple students at the moment. I was doing master classes, and I was enjoyable, and gave me something to do, and to be able to teach and give back, and it was good. I enjoy it. Enjoy it. And I like the virtual. Never really thought of giving lessons virtually in the past, but this sort of made one do that, and I like it, because I've got students all over the country now. So
yeah, I mean, really, you could have them all over the world if you wanted to.
Yeah, right. But I mean, there's a lot of I can't. Soul System, that whole thing is a pretty big project. So
yeah, full time.
I can only handle so many lessons a week.
Right. How does that work virtually, giving a lesson?
Well, we have the Zoom. You put the computer in front of you, and I've got a nice setup, microphone setup and such, and it's it depends on the student's level. It's difficult for very early beginners, but those that have some experience and they don't need me to literally hold their hand. We go through a lesson. I take them through books, and we do different lessons, or they ask me to show them drum beats. Of course, everybody wants to learn monkey business. So, which is an honor. Again, it's an honor, to be asked that. So I do take that seriously. I'm not joking.
Yeah.
And so, and other beats. So, the young drummers, they want to learn beats, and there's a lot of female drummers. So
that's
fun.
good. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Well, do you think? I know we're running out of time here, but do you think there will ever be one last Skid Row run with the original guys? Or would you want that?
Of course, I would want it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, of course. We almost had it. It fell apart several years ago. It was very close. We literally had festival offers and things were coming in, and then one big giant fight erupted, and that was it. So, I don't know. I'm in at the drop of a dime. I can't speak for the others. I know Sebastian would do it.
Yeah, I think he said he would do it.
Yeah, I think I can't talk for the others. I know that because he's told me, but I don't know. So I'm here. He's there. We're here, and if it could be, I would love to do it, but we'll see.
Well, hopefully that can get worked out one day.
I hope so, Joe.
I mean, I think that would be a huge draw.
I think it would be sure would be fun.
Yeah. Well, looking back on your career, I mean, is there anything you think you wish you would have done differently, or are you pretty happy with how everything went, and is still going actually with Soulsystem?
I overall, I think after Skid Row, after the falling out of that and the ending of that, I do wish I sort of took myself out of it. I didn't, like I said, I didn't want to be in the scene in LA, and I didn't really, I don't know. I was I got somewhat reclusive, I guess. I don't really know why. I think I was insecure. I didn't know what to do with my life. And I wish I kept myself out there a little bit more, and in the face of music. I chose to take myself out. And so I wish that I didn't do that. Yeah.
You think you would ever jump to a situation again with a different band if they?
Well, if it was right, sure, absolutely. Yeah. Again, I'm not doing any. I really don't want to do any, fancy van tours.
Sure. Yeah.
I would go out and do one-offs, but I have a horse farm here in upstate New York. It's 50 acres. I love it. I got
That's awesome
in the city, and it's wonderful to have the culture and excitement of New York City. So, and I'm playing with Soulsystem. I get to sit in, play rock and roll every once in a while with friends and bands, and I got a good life. It's if it never happens again, I did really well, and I'm really happy and grateful.
Good. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
All right, Rob. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you taking the time. I know we went back and forth trying to get this lined up.
Well, I think it was great. I appreciate your time, and I appreciate your interest in speaking with me. Obviously, if you don't have the interest, then there's nobody to talk to, is there?
Right. Yeah, no, of course. Yeah, and Skid Row, when I was younger, I'm almost 50 now. So when Skid Row first came out, like I said, I went right away to get the cassette tape and had the pictures on my wall and that whole thing. So
right.
I mean, it was a pleasure talking to you.
Well, I thank you, buddy. It's been a pleasure too. So maybe we'll do it again next year.
Yeah. Hey, listen, before you go, hang out 1 second, okay?
Yep.
All right. Thanks, Rob.
That's all for this week. Join us next week for another episode of the Rock and Roll and Coffee Show podcast. Available on all your favorite podcast listening platforms.